We get together here on Wednesday evenings and talk about the early days of single sideband. Most of us are on one kind of vacuum tube radio or another, but there's some hybrids involved, and there's also some folks on modern radios that are interested in what we're doing here, and all those folks are invited too. Buy-sell trades are appropriate if they're vintage radio related, and if you've got a problem with a radio you're working on and don't know what to do about it, if it's a vintage radio, this is a great place to ask for some advice. Tonight, I'm on a vintage radio built by KG7TR Mike, and my call is K5LYN, and my name is Lynn. Now, KG7TR built this radio, which is called Cheap and Easy SSB, from a 1956 article in QST, and he built it in the 21st century. So it's the old design built in modern times by a very accomplished engineer here. And this puts out about 40 watts. It's driving a Johnson Viking Courier, which is two 811As grid driven. And I'm listening on the Drake 2B with the speaker Q multiplier peaked into the peak position like a regenerative receiver. Quiets the band quite a lot. I'm going to call a bunch of people. I'm going to check and see if there's any people who want to talk about Hamfest that are coming up. And then I'll give it to Jay and Rusty, and we'll get everybody picked up. If you were an early person who was here and placed his call on the early list and you get forgotten about, and we pick up stations without picking you up first, come in and say, hey, I wasn't early, I should have been picked up. First of all, Hamfest, K5EF. Nick, you got something you want to talk about? How about it? K5LYN.
Okay, Lynn. It's good to hear you tonight. This is K5EF. Running the KWM2 and 30L1 today. I did want to make a small announcement. The Hamfest flyer for the Slidell Hamfest is finally available, and we'll have it posted up on the Central Electronics website very soon. In any event, it's a two-day event. It's on October 8th and 9th in Slidell, which is... Slidell is just north of New Orleans. It's on Interstate 10. And what is interesting, we have this W9BYD amateur radio symposium, which, in case you don't know, W9BYD was, in many circles, is called Mr. Single Sideband. He's attributed to promoting single sideband in the very early 1950s and bringing the show on the road and getting folks on that new mode. In any event, we have a number of speakers already confirmed for the symposium. Bob Sherwood, NC0B, again, will be back with us in Slidell. His discussion will be about synchronous AM detection and also transceiver performance for HFDX, which should be a pretty hot topic now. The band, Sunspot Cycle and the band is starting to come back again. Bob Heil will be back with us again, along with Dave Beckler and Jill SAT, Dave Assett, and Chuck Kerr, who is KE1RR, the president of the Collins Collectors Association. So that's who we have so far lined up as speakers, but we have more in the pipeline. So you can find out more information about the Hamfest at www.w5sla.net, which is the Slidell Amateur Radio Club, or the Ozone Club as it's called here. Anyway, that's the latest, sir. Back to you. It's K5EF.
Okay, very fine, Nick, and I'll add to it. Anybody that wants to see the flyer for the Hamfest, Nick sent it to me. Send me an email, and I'll send it back to you. Back to you, Nick, for any last comments.
No, I'm good. It's just been very rough over here. The weather's been horrible. We've been getting unbelievable amounts of rain every day, 2, 3.5 inches, and plenty of lightning and thunder. So I was surprised I was able to get on tonight, but the thunderstorms apparently have moved far enough to the east. That's it, 73.
All right. Anybody else want to talk about an upcoming Hamfest before we pick up the rest of the earlies? K5LYN. All right, hearing nothing, let me pick up people that were lurking a while ago. Let me see if Peggy, and I didn't ever get the call quite right, KB5MCW, something like that. Peggy, are you still here? You want to talk to us? K5LYN. Okay. Why would she want to talk to a bunch of old men? I don't know. How about Denver, N50JB? Denver, talk to us.
All right, this is Denver, N50JB in Gonzales, Texas, and I'm talking to you on a Collins S line, and they're winged emblems, all three pieces of it. I have a 32S1 transmitter, a 75S1 receiver, and I have I can't ever think of the number on it, but the station console. All work great, and I love them. I am using a Shure 444 microphone, and I'm driving an NCL 2000 with them into an inverted V fan dipole, homemade, that I built. And I just love to get in here and play with these things every Wednesday night and listen to everybody on the Boat Anchor Net. Lynn, back to you.
Okay. All right, Denver, you probably heard Nick say that the president of the Collins Collectors Association is going to be there, so you might think about joining us. And the console you're talking about is a Collins 312B4, over.
That's right, 312B4. Once you say it, I can remember it. I think I need to get me a piece of, I got a magic marker over here. I can write it on the face of it so that I'll always know what it is.
Magic markers are magic. Absolutely. All right, Denver, anything else for the net tonight?
That's it. Can you imagine what that thing would be worth if I messed it up like that?
Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it. All right, moving on. How about KE5Q, Jim?
Yes, sir. K5LYM. This is KE5Q Plano. And talking about that, I remember the Hamfest seeing a Johnson Viking 2, I think it was, with a Social Security number etched on the front of the cabinet. Now, that was something else. Anyway, we're on the Collins, KWM2, 3001, Shure 444, going into the Double Bazooka 8040 Ultimax, and copying everybody really good here tonight. And Peggy's call was Motorcycle Woman, MCW, K5LYN, KE5Q.
All right, Jim. Very good. Good enough. Hey, what's the latest word from Columbia? How are they doing with the vaccines down there?
Well, they're getting the vaccines, but it's really getting bad there. Let off the mic. Last weekend, Fridays, I think it was Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, they pretty much locked down Bogota. And you know how big that place is. Only Central there for the weekend. Now, that was not all over Colombia. It was just in Bogota. But yeah, they're starting to get the vaccines out now.
Okay, yeah, but they're close to Brazil. The Brazilian variant is a scary one, so I hope they get a bunch of shots out. We'll one of these days we're going to cross paths in Bogota, you and I. Anything else for the net, Jim?
Nothing else. KE5Q.
All right, K8WOZ. Talk to us, Dan, K5LYN.
Hey, good evening, Lynn, and everybody else in the Boat Anchors this evening. This is Dan, KWZ, downtown Houston, where it is sounds just like a war zone. Of course, probably sounds about like Chicago on the weekends. Anyway, lots of thunder, lots of lightning somewhere. I haven't seen any of it yet, and probably a lot of rain, but we haven't seen much of that either. Making a lot of racket out there, though. Anyway, I'm just talking on the same old Kenwood TSA-30. This was one I resurrected several years ago from Sammy's junk pile and kind of rebuilt it. Seems to be all right now. And I'm using a Shure 444D microphone and a homebrew 3813s amplifier. And somebody is looking for a Heathkit SV220 or something. You can't find them. Shoot, they want almost $1,000 for those things these days. You might throw a couple hunks of metal together and some sockets and build 3813s. They put out the same amount of power with a whole lot less difficulty. The tubes are cheap. They'll last forever. You can run more power than that on them. And you match the input SWR impedance on these things with three of them is right about 50 ohms, so you don't even need a tuned input for them. So anyway, somebody feels like building an amplifier, build one with 3813s, you'll never be sorry. That's about it from here using the Ultimax 2-band bazooka. KWOZ, back to you, Glenn.
Great signal, Dan. Yeah, I used to have an amplifier with two 813s, and I wish I had a couple more because they're great tubes for sure. All right, moving on. Hey, how about let's hear the sound of a swan, Doug. WB1E, talk to us.
Okay, boat anchor netters, and this is Doug over here participating in the anchorage event of the week, and WB1E over here in Bryan, talking to you on the old Swan 500, and reliable Swan 500. I have to say, it's getting so reliable, I want to get another form of boat anchorage in a sideband mode and keep it going, but knock on wood, this thing's been very good to me. Heck, and a little bit of help, I'm doing about a 1 kW out with a homebrew 8877 amplifier, going up with a chunk of RG213 about 100 feet up to about 80 foot. Dan told me to lower my antenna last week, so I had to lower it high. And doing, like I said, about 1 kW out, and it's a lot of noise, but the signals are really strong tonight, so everybody sound great. Lynn, awesome job. Rusty, Guy, whoever else is helping, thanks for all the work you guys do. This is WB1E, back to net.
As usual, some of the most beautiful audio and one of the strongest signals on the net. Blows us away every week. Great signal, Doug. All right, how about my neighbor, TXW? George, bring us up to date, K5LYN.
Hello, Lynn from WB5TXW for the finest hour of amateur radio for the week. Of course, I'm on the S-line system, 32S175S330L1, the power supply, and the speaker box. All 5 boxes have wings on them, so you know they work better. The Shure 444 out to a 75-meter dipole fed with 450 ohm twin leads. So, nothing's broken yet for the week. Things are looking good. Oh, Lynn, what about breakfast this Saturday? Over?
Yes, sir. I think I'm up.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'll be up. And, of course, I'll confirm with you through the great internet. And that's about it. WB5TXW back to net.
You know, the next time we find a power supply that shorted its low voltage chokes, we're going to fix it just like we fixed that one, George. It's really working good. Great audio. And a bunch of us get together for Saturday morning breakfast, 8 o'clock, El Nuevo, Mexico, North Lamar and Anderson Lane. Moving on. KC5L. Hey, Tom, talk to us.
Hey, good evening, Lynn, and the Boat Anchor's Net. This is Tom, KC5L in San Antonio. And tonight we're talking on the Central Electronics 200B with the D104 microphone. And that's driving a Central Electronics 600L, doing about 300 watts PEP into a Johnson KW Matchbox. And the antenna is a homebrew doublet up about 15 feet. And we're listening on the R390A. Your cheap and easy is sounding great here in San Antonio this evening. And that's about all I have. So back to you, Lynn, KC5L.
Okay, Tom. The mic is a little bit different on this end. You usually hear me on a Shure 444. What you're hearing right now is a Shure 444 cartridge in the framework of a D104 that had a bed crystal. Can you tell a difference?
I can't really tell much of a difference myself, but I certainly understand the idea. The mic on my modern rig is also a D104 with a Heil HC5 cartridge installed. Same deal, the crystal element had gone bad in it, and I did the same thing, and it works out real well for me. Over.
Well, I'm going to try that again. I tried once and failed, so I've got the Heil element here. We'll try that again. I'll keep you posted. Thanks for the information. All right. How about K5LT? Talk to us, Lyle. K5LYN.
Good evening, Lynn, and everyone also in that. This is K5LT. The name here is Lyle, Lima Yankee Lima Echo, located outside of Bernie, Texas, about 30 miles north of San Antonio. And tonight I'm running the Heathkit SB101 through a Heathkit SB221 amplifier up to a double extended ZEP antenna to the cedar trees. So everybody's sounding good tonight. And nothing too new here on this end. Sorry I missed everybody in Marion last weekend, but I was in College Station seeing my daughter at A&M. And so I guess I'll make the next one, which hopefully will be Belton here in a couple months. And that's it from here. Back to you in K5LT.
Okay, Lyle. Yeah, well, family comes first, always, so you did the right thing. The Heathkit station is sounding good, and my plan tonight is when I come back for my second shift to become on my version of a Heathkit, so we will see how it works. Good to hear you. Okay, let me see, Jay. If you're ready to take it, I've got AG5XP, who is Kenneth. I heard W5SE. And we heard AC5DM, I think. You ready for it, Jay, while I see if I can get something else running here, K5LYN?
Okay. What was Kenneth's call? I dropped my pencil.
Alpha Golf 5 X-Ray Papa.
Okay. Yes, sir. I'll take over. Well, I won't take over, but I'll fill in. Whatever. Anyway, this is KM5QSJ down here in Alice, Texas, coming to y'all tonight on a all Kenwood station except for the microphone. The microphone's an Electro Voice 664 Alpha on a boom, makes it easier. And okay, it's still talking. Looks like it quit talking for a minute. Anyway, it's a Kenwood TS820, and the receiver is a Kenwood R820 with a 270G Collins speaker and a homebrew antenna, homebrew balance tuner, balance line, and all that stuff. So let me start with AG5. Oh, doggone it! Can't even read my right. AG5KP. How about you, Ken?
Yeah, thank you, Jay, for picking me up. This is Kenneth, AG5XP, up here in Central Texas. Tonight we're on an old Yaesu FT101EE. Got a D104 microphone making the thing operate. Got it going out of a Gonset GSB 201 amplifier with 4 811s in it, burning away. It's going out to a Heathkit tuner, out to a homebrew G5 RV antenna. That's what we got up here. Back to you, Jay, AG5XP.
Okay, Ken. Well, it's sounding great. No problems at all. Static crashes are out there, but they are no competition. So it's a good deal. All right, W5SE. Dennis, you still in there?
Yeah, good evening, Jay, and good evening to Lynn and Rusty and the rest of the guys in the group there. W5S here in Temple, Texas. So just on a little old Kenwood 520, not the S for old Rusty. Anyway, just doing about 80 watts on a G5 RV 160 and just good to hear everybody and the great signals on the old boat anchors, guys. It just makes you wonder how and why we ended up where we're at. But anyway, Jay, good to hear you, bud. Sounding good, and hope everybody gets a little rain this weekend. And I'll take even a little lightning, but I just want a little rain. But anyway, Jay, good to hear you, brother, and good evening to everybody on the net. We'll see y'all later. W5SE.
All righty, Dennis. Well, yeah, we could use the rain, too. I don't want any of them random electrons roaming around, though. I had to unplug everything and then try to figure out what I had plugged. You know the drill. But sometimes the old gear is a little more forgiving, so I don't know. It's nice to play with anyway. Thank you, Dennis. Appreciate it. I want to hear a set of Kenwood twins. I think there's one out there in Ruston, Louisiana. AC5DM. Daryl, you there?
Good evening, Jay. There's one on the net. Yeah, this is Daryl, AC5DM in Ruston, Louisiana. On a set of Kenwood twins that's got some Jakes with a MC60 mic. Got it barefooted about 150 watts. With a double position inverted feed, and I built back in 2007.
Well, they're sounding great. It's just and when you get that freak counter, I understand you fine. It's no problem at all. There's just a hair up the band, but that's the way. I mean, shucks, this is boat anchor night. we can understand each other, but those things still sound good. Well, I know you're going to like them. I sure did. But I needed the room.
Well, I'm glad you got rid of them. I brought it down the band just a little bit. Maybe I'm better now, but yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with them.
Okay, yeah, cool. That sounds great. All righty, Daryl. Anything else?
Nothing on this end. Back to you.
Okay, thank you, sir. All righty. I don't have anybody else written down, so who's next for the Boat Anchors Unlimited?
November 5,
Kilo Echo 0, Yankee Mike Zulu.
Kilowatt Germany 5, Japan Lima.
Kilo 5, Foxtrot Tango November.
Okay, let's see. There was two more ahead. I got 2 calls out of there, and I'll have to try the other static crashes. Got them, so I'll get these 2, and then I'll back up to the rest of them. KT5JL, go ahead, sir.
Oh, real good. Thanks. I just wanted to check in real quick and see how everybody's doing tonight. We're in Richardson, Texas here, running into a off-center set, shortened 75-meter dipole. And we're running a different radio now. It's a new radio tonight. I didn't have time to set anything up. I just ran in real quick. It's a Kenwood... it's an FT, not Kenwood, it's a Yaesu 890. It's still pretty old, but it's solid state. Anyway, I had a quick question, and then I'll let you guys go. I picked up about a week ago a Gonset GSP-100. They call it a model 3233 radio transmitter. I emptied out the steak pail, and she just gave me everything that was in it. And I was wondering if anybody's ever used one of those. It looks like kind of a neat radio. KG5JL back to net control.
Okay. What kind of a rig it was that you picked up?
Oh, it was a Gonset GSP George Sugar Bravo F100 single sideband transmitter.
Oh, yeah. There's a fellow in the valley that I think has got one of those. I know he's got the amplifier. Rick, WD5ADC, down there in the southern tip of Texas, has got one. It sounds great.
Well, I'm cleaning it up now. It weighs about 80 pounds, I bet, but it's it's got 5 U4 tube rectifiers in it and stuff like that. And I was curious if anybody's ever run those. I never paid much attention to one of them once the Gonset line as far as things goes. And everybody sounds real good tonight, and I'm not going to hold it. I just wanted to make that comment, see if anybody knows about them. I appreciate that input, and I'm going to try to put this one on the air along with the 75A4. Talk to you guys later. KG5JL back to net control.
All righty. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Go ahead, comment.
Yeah, did I make the frequency, JK5LY?
Yeah.
Yeah, about that Gonset, it's a wonderful radio, but replace the paper and electrolytic capacitors. That's a 1961 radio. They really need to be replaced. Over.
Okay, yeah, I'm in the process of doing that. I do that to all the old radios. I use any of the old black capacitors in there. I can't remember the name of those right offhand, but the electrolytics always get replaced. Appreciate that, KG5JL.
Great news. We'll look forward to hearing it. Back to you, Jay.
Okay, Lynn. Alrighty. The suffix was Fox Tango November. Go ahead. Maybe I didn't get it right. I thought it was FTN. Are you out there?
TN5MOK.
Well, maybe you had to step away. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, good evening, Jay, and everybody on that. It's Mike up in Kilgore in 5MOK. Tonight, again, I'm on my TS520 with a MC60 microphone. And talking into a SB220. I ain't running very hard, about 50 watts into it. Probably getting about 800 out or so. Man, anyway, the antenna is a inverted vase, 75 meter inverted vase. Tuner is a Heathkit 2040. Had it for a long time. Good old tuner. Anyway, back to you there, Jay. N5, MOK.
Okay, Mike. Well, that 800's all you need tonight. That's about what I'm doing right now. Well, it jumps up. If I stay out of the mic, it stays around 800 or 900, and if I get a little too close, it might get a little more than that. Anyway, you're sounding fine down here, no problem. Thank you, sir, for checking in. Who's next for the Boat Anchors Unlimited?
Whiskey 5, Delta Kilo.
0, YMZ. November 5, Juliet, Carpenter, taking
RX.
Okay. I'm gonna take the loud ones first, and then I'll try to work the other ones. Go ahead, Don.
All right. Take the next one. My SWR is high. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I'll come back to you. LRX.
Hey there, Jay. This is K5 Lima Romeo X-ray up here in Austin on the hill. And I thought I'd do a little smile and wave from Austin. Probably all I can muster at this point. We're out, Susie and I were out cutting down dead trees, and geez, it's a shame. Mother Nature has gone berserk in her own pruning. So, boy, there's big piles of brush. That's all I got to say. I guess we're going to rent one of those big chipper shredders and stuff it full of things for the next week or so. Oh boy, it's sure a pile of dead stuff. Still a lot of green stuff, but boy, we took it. I'm sure most of the other folks in the Central Texas area did too. So I guess we got to be thankful for a lot of stuff, but boy, there sure is a lot of debris. So okay, this is K5LRX on the Kenwood Twins, the 599s with LK550 linear, a dual band double bazooka, and Mike's 444. And that's about it. Tuner's a Palstar, and we're having a good time with it. So you did a good job restoring this pair of twins, and I appreciate it, Jay. Did a great job. K5LRX 73.
Oh, thank you, Jack. Like I say, I'd rather be lucky than good, but I had a lot of help. That's one thing. That's what I like about amateur radio. If you need help, somebody's always got the answer, or if nothing else, at least an opinion. So, anyway, thank you, Jack. And, we've got some stuff down here, too. But look at all the good mulch you're going to have when you get done chopping it up.
Oh, absolutely. You have to look at things and always look for the positive. So you're absolutely right. It will be a lot of great mulch.
Roger. All right. Whiskey 5, Delta Kilo. Don, you get your stand away fixed?
Yes, sir. I'm back. Good evening, everybody. Jay. Yeah, the good thing about that snap was that it looks like it took a bite on the Wasatch. The Mesquite's still going, but it looks like the Wasatch here, north of San Antonio, is dying. So anyways, yeah, and Jay, everybody's got opinions, and they're all helpful, but they just ain't got no money to help. That's the deal. Anyways, it's just me, Don. I'm in Spring Branch, north of San Antonio. I'm on the normal Drake station with an L4 amp. It wasn't complaining about the SWR at all. And amazingly, anyways. I think I'm on double extended ZEP. That's where I'm at, along with all my other garbage. D104 mic. I'll give it back to you. Get on to the next one. Good to hear everybody. Good to see everybody too at Belton. Well, almost good to see everybody. Some of them were W5DK.
Okay, Don. Yeah, good deal. I know it wasn't Belton. It was Marion, but it was good to see you there too. Belton is October 2nd, or for some of us, October 1st and 2nd. And for me and Jim, and maybe a couple of early birds, it's September 31st, October 1st and 2nd. So, at any rate, we're looking forward to that. Let me see. Rusty, there were some other ones out there, and maybe you can hear them better than I did. I've got some pretty good static crashes down here. So let me turn it to you for right now, and we'll see what happens. WK5R, KM5QS.
KM5QS, WK5R. Mighty fine, Jay. I'll give it a try. Well, good evening, everybody on the Boat Anchors Unlimited net. Name here is Rusty, as you probably heard Jay say. And I'm on the modern rig right now because I'm gonna stay off of the boat anchor for a while till I can maybe work on the sideband generator or look on to something else so that I don't bother the folks upstairs there. The other day I had a nice little talk with Riley Hollingsworth, and I had already done what he suggested, so that, and he had something to offer me. We had a nice little talk there, and anyway, he's supposed to email me something when he got with it. I have a broke glass in my SX111 that matches my HD37, and he's got an SX111. He's going to check and see if the power supply's good in it, because that's also I need for my SX111, and maybe some other stuff to get it back going. So he's going to let me know what the shipping is, and all I got to do is pay the shipping to get that. So that may work out. And he made it to talk to them guys downstairs, because they ain't doing me no good either. And I'm 68. Anyway, I'm on the 590S Kenwood. The microphone is the Audio-Technica AT2035. Driving the homebrew GS35B amplifier at about 1,1300 into a homebrew fan dipole up at about 50 feet. So with that, who else is out there for the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Come now.
November 5.
Whoa, did anybody get hurt in that wreck? Let's try it again and slow down a little bit.
November 5.
Okay, I got one out of it. I think I heard N0GBK up in Nebraska. Was that you, Kurt?
Yep, sure was, Rusty.
Okay, go right ahead.
Okay, good evening, Rusty in the net. This is N0GBK. We're up here in South Central Nebraska. Everybody's sounding good up here tonight. And I'm running my Galaxy GT550. Just the straight 550, not the 550 Alpha. I'm going to have the matching speaker console and CFO with that. And using a Turner ceramic desk microphone with that tonight, Rusty. And that's run into the out-center fit antenna up about 25 feet. So back to you, Rusty, WK5R. This is N0GBK.
Okay, Kurt. The Galaxy GT550, not the Alpha, is sounding great there. That microphone message is good. Sounds good down here. Appreciate you checking in. We'll look for you next week there. Okay, who else is lurking out there for the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Y'all spread them out a little bit there, because it's hard to catch you in between lightning crashes.
NB0BN. KB0YMZ.
Okay, let me get that one. KB0YMZ, go ahead.
Thank you, Rusty. This is KE0YMZ. Checking in tonight with a TS520. It's a different one than I have been checking in with. This one here is one that I picked up last week. It's a TS520 SE Sierra Echo, and so a little bit different, not much. But this is like the third contact that I've made with it, so just haven't had it very long at all. I'm operating it with the same microphone that I did the other one with. It's a D104 non-amplified microphone. Running about, I don't know for sure, about 30 watts or 35. I upped the wattage just a little bit. There was a lot of USB on the frequency, a lot of static crashes, and so I upped the wattage a little bit. I'm currently putting out about 250 watts, and I'm running it into a 30L1, calling 30L1,
and then utilizing a MT3000A tuner, going out the window to a 120-foot dipole flat top configuration, about 35 feet, something like that. And so just glad to be in here tonight, and thank you for letting me in the net. And I hope that this thing sounds okay. Like I said, this is like the third transmission I've made with it. So I'll say happy streets to you. And this is Kilo Echo Zero, Yankee Mike Zulu.
Okay, KE0 Yankee Mike Zulu. That comes stepping on my tongue there. But that 520 sounds fine. I don't hear a thing wrong with it. Appreciate you checking in. Okay, now let me see if I can get those others out of there. Who else is hanging out there for the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Come in there now.
NB0BN.
Okay, there was another zero station. It sounded like KEZ, but I'm not sure that's right. Go ahead.
I think you might have me. It's November Bravo 0, Bravo November.
Oh, November Bravo 0, November. I missed the rest of it, but go ahead.
NB0BN. The name here is Bob in Denver, Colorado. And second time checking in, so I'm just glad to hear you guys and be able to talk to you. I hope you hear me okay. I'm on my Swan 700CX, and I have a 135-foot doublet fed by some homebrew open wire feed line into a Johnson kilowatt matchbox. Back to you.
Okay. All right. Yeah, the Swan 700CX sounds good. I believe you're in Colorado. Is that correct?
Roger that. I'm in the Denver area.
Roger. Okay, that's what I thought when I got the call sign right out of all that noise. But you're coming through just fine there. I appreciate you checking in. We'll look for you next time. Okay, who was the other station underneath there? Try it again. Okay, who else is out there for the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Come now. Well, I think I weeded them all out there, Lynn. Are you ready to go there? K5LYN, WK5R.
Well, let's give it a try, Rusty. Does it sound like I'm ready to go, or is this a disaster?
Oh, you sound like you're on to me. Go ahead.
All right. We'll give it a try. I have switched radios since the last transmission. This is K5LYN Lynn in Austin. And this station here started out in 1948. In 1948, Collins sold something they called the 310B, and it was their first permeability-tuned oscillator, which replaced a variable frequency oscillator. It was a variable slug-tuned device rather than a variable capacitor, and known for its stability. And they used this for the early AM rigs that Collins was built in those days, in the late 40s and early 50s. And I'm using it to be the VFO for what Heathkit called their sideband adapter. This is a Heathkit SB10. It was most commonly heard with the Heathkit Apache, but it was built so you could use it with any of your old AM rigs. And what I'm doing, I'm converting a Heathkit novice rig, the DX60. I've converted it to single sideband, and it's putting out about 40 watts, 50 watts maybe, and that's driving a Collins 30L1. And it looks like it's doing about 500 watts here. And it's not going to be the nice, clean, single sideband signal that you'd hear from a Collins mechanical filter, or even the best of the phasing rigs or a crystal filter. I like to refer to this as the radio equivalent of a 59 Studebaker. It's not the best that there is, but it'll get you where you need to go. All right, who else for the Boat Anchors this evening? K5LYN calling and listening. Okay, Colorado, let's hear some more from you guys up there in Colorado. And how about Mississippi, Alabama, Florida? Surely you guys are out there hearing us somewhere. Talk to us, K5LYN. You mean I got the most ragged radio on the air and nobody's going to talk to me? Here I am.
Well, we'll talk to you.
Well, talk. I'm running out.
Gotta give a comment there. That's pretty neat. You got a tractor part in there working with that, a PTO, a power takeoff.
Now, say that again, Rusty.
That's pretty neat. You got a tractor part in there making that radio work. That PTO, a power takeoff.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, that's another abbreviation for PTO. You caught me off guard. Maybe that's the best way to translate it.
Go ahead, Lynn. I couldn't resist that one.
Is it sounding okay to you?
Yeah, it sounds good.
All right. This is the same microphone. Okay, if there's nobody else out there, we'll pass it around to Jay, and we'll make our final transmissions here. This has been a great net tonight. Noisy. We got thunderstorms in the area. Anybody want to talk to my vintage radio here? K5LYN, calling for the last time and listening.
Charlie X-Ray Golf.
CXG. Hey, Bob, what do you say?
Well, there's a lot of static out there. And hearing everybody good, though. And not much going on around here. We've had kind of a slow day. Nothing new to report, really. Been talking on the radio some. And it's good in the mornings and getting better during the day. So maybe this cycle will kick in finally one day. Any of you guys out there still got the Drake faceplate for a 2B, let me know. You can get hold of me on the net, or somebody's got my number or something. But I really need a faceplate, and I need one of those R46, I believe it is, speakers, the helicopter speaker, the 10-inch speaker. I'd love to find one of them. And other than that, that's about it, Lynn. We're rolling along and doing good. K560.
All right, Bob. Hey, did the weather give you some rain today? When I looked at the radar, it looked like it might have been in your area.
No, it wasn't anywhere here.
Well, darn it wasn't anywhere here either. But it was north of us and around. So, shoot. Well, we'll keep trying. Maybe tomorrow. A faceplate for a 2B is really going to be hard. You know, the 2B is said to be one of the most collectible receivers around from that era, and you may have to buy a whole receiver, would be my guess.
You're probably right. Well, okay. Well, I'll still look. Anyway, that's it from here, Lynn.
All right, great to hear you, Bob. Thanks for coming by. I wondered if anybody was hearing me tonight. Anybody else for the boat anchors? K5LYN, calling and listening.
Yeah, Whiskey Alpha 5, Edward David X-Ray.
Mr. Byron, talk to us.
Yeah, Lynn, and the rest of the net. Good evening for Bluffdale, Texas. Tonight I'm on not a tube boat anchor, but a transistor boat anchor, the old Omni 10-tech. Just got in hooked up here. Got a few static crashes up here tonight in Bluffdale. We've had some weather. Had a little hail a couple of nights ago, and just missed me, which I was glad of that. So, nothing new here, barefoot, little mobile mic on this 10-tech, so I'm hoping you're hearing it. But I'm hearing you fine, Lynn. You got a great signal tonight, as always. So back to that. K5LYN, WA5EDX.
Byron, did you get here in time to hear what I'm talking on tonight?
Yeah, I did. Modified DX60.
Yeah, that's it. All right. Yeah, you got a great signal on the 10-tech. About what year does that date to?
What'd you say, what year?
Yeah, about what year does that 10-tech date to?
You know, I'm not positive. Probably right around 1970.
It's got a great job. The audio's on the crisp side, but that's perfectly good. It's clear and clean. Nice radio.
I hear a carrier in it.
Well, you can probably you hear a carrier on his signal or on mine?
On his.
Well, I probably got stuff too. I didn't tune around, Byron, but it's got nice audio, whatever.
You know what, that carrier may be, I have another radio on over here in the background, the BFO's going on. I bet that's what you're hearing.
Well, actually, I do hear that tone. Yeah, that wouldn't be the carrier on your signal, because it would be zero beat to that carrier. But there is a tone there. That's probably what we're hearing.
Comment?
Yeah, it's in the shack.
Go ahead, Jay.
I can hear that tone when nobody's talking, so I think there's somebody out there tuning up.
Well,
it's with him.
Yeah, I think it's on his signal too, but it's not a problem. It's way in the background. It's certainly not the carrier on that radio. All right, Byron, great to hear you. Anything else for the net this evening?
Negative.
All right. Anybody else for the boat anchors this evening? K5LYN listening.
November 5, Juliet Golf Victory.
Okay. Was that JGX?
That was
No, that was Kurt up in Nebraska.
Oh, Kurt, Nebraska. Talk to us.
Nebraska. I forgot to mention that I'm looking for the Hiking Galaxy RV 550 Alpha. That's the remote VFO for a 550 Alpha. So if anybody's got one of those kicking around, or if anybody runs across one at a local ham-fest or something, keep me in mind. I'm good on QRZ, and I always check into the net here on Wednesday night. So just wanted to throw that in there, Lynn. Thanks for letting me jump back in.
Okay, Kurt. Yeah, keep us posted if you don't get some contacts on it. Why, list it again, okay?
Okay, thanks, Lynn. 73.
All right, great to hear you. Who else for the boat anchors? K5LYN listening.
November 5, Juliet Golf X-Ray.
That is you, Hugo, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Hugo, I think you and I are jumping over each other. Everybody else will hear you better than I do, but go ahead and talk to us.
Just checking in. It's a new thing. Got the 40-80 meter dipole hook. Still working on the rest here.
Nice signal, Hugo, but the skip is lengthening out, and you and I are far enough that I don't hear you really well. But nice sounding signal. All right, who else for the net? K5LYN listening.
KE5ARQ.
ARQ, talk to us.
Hey everybody, it's James over in Floresville, Texas. Nothing different over here. Got a Kenwood TS830S. Sure, 444 mic, inverted V about 40 feet, and about to put the last piece of paneling inside the shack, and that's all I got. KE5ARQ, back to net.
Okay, James, really nice signal into Austin tonight. Glad you came by. All right, who else is out there? I'll take one more before I give it to Jay. K5LYN. Well, maybe I won't take any more. Hey, Jay, pick it up. K5LYN.
Okay, Lynn. Well, they're just guys just come wandering by. All right, folks, this is the Boat Anchors Unlimited. And that being said, that talking about early sideband radios, but anybody's welcome to check in, especially if you have any interest in what we're doing. So, is there anyone out there we haven't talked to yet that would like to check into the Boat Anchors net? Come now, please. My. Looks like we might have done it. I've filled up one page, at least one line in a page, so not too bad. All you guys out there listening, we certainly appreciate everyone that checks in, because we know how hard it is to keep these things running sometimes, and also know how much fun it is to keep them running too. So appreciate everybody checking in, and I'm going to pass it up to Rusty and let him say his adioses, and we'll go from there. See y'all next week. KM5QS 73. Go ahead, Russ.
Okay, Jay. I will throw a comment on the carrier on Byron's signal a while ago. I don't think it was on Byron's signal, because I saw two signals. His and that carrier came in there real strong up here, and it was on top of him. So I don't know where it was coming from. Anybody else left out there who wants to check in before we wind this thing down? Come now. Oh, here's Stolen, man. You want me to wrap it up?
Yeah, I'll say my 73's great net tonight. Y'all have fun. Let's hope we all get some rain. K5LYN, clear.
Okay. You want to do your 73, Jay?
I already did.
Okay. I'll take it from there then. Well, we appreciate everybody that checked in. It was a noisy night, but we did have some pretty distant stations there. We did not get the Michigan or North Dakota up there that way this time, but we did get a lot up in the middle area of the country there. Anyway, appreciate everybody checking in. There's Lynn, Jay, and myself. We all know what it takes to keep these things on the air and keep them going there. So y'all keep up the good work. We'll look for you next week. Now, this is WK5R. Now closing this section of the Boat Anchor's Unlimited Net and returning the frequency to normal amateur abuse.